Okay, so I'm going to do a smoky eye on a hooded eye because I've had so many requests from all you girls to do that. Really, a hooded eye is perfect for a smoky eye because you want to deepen everything. Because remember, for a hooded eye, to be hooded, it's, look straight ahead for me, Aaron. It's just all this fleshiness is what makes what makes you consider it a hooded eye. And so anytime you darken that in any way, shape, or form, it will push it back and open the eye up. Now, I do want Aaron to be able to wear this look during the day, or not during the day. Let me take it back. I do want Erin to have a softer version of this look because she doesn't need to look extreme. So I'm going to still highlight. Now, look down for me. On some hooded eyes, you can still see lid right here. Look straight ahead. When she opens her eye, you still see the lid right here. I'm going to lighten that, how I've done in the past with smoky eyes, to give it a little bit more soft effect and to keep the eye truly open looking. So I'm going to take my beige cream shadow and I'm going to just go over it. Now I'm using my number 14 brush because I have such a specific small area that I need to apply that cream to. So I'm going to take that and apply it instead of my 22, which I normally use here, and just get cream right in the inside corner of that lid. Once again, a little cream right in the inside corner. Y'all all know how I am about wearable smoky eyes because they can be so much fun to wear, but they need to be not too harsh. And not all of us hit the gene pool jackpot to wear around this heavily made up smoky eye all the time. Plus, you don't want it to look like you belong on a corner working for a living. Then I'm going to go over that with a little bit of a matte beige. Now, when I say matte beige, it's just a matte beige. Now, I could tell you a specific brand, specific shade, but if you already own a matte beige, you don't need to buy another one. I'm going to go back over that area with my matte beige to set that cream. And what's going to happen is this will help just keep this area a little lighter when I do my whole smoky application. Which will make it look softer, more wearable. Now I'm going to take my normal highlight brush, my number 22. I'm going to take my number 22. The important thing about a highlight brush is that it's stiff. See how it doesn't have a lot of give to it? It's a stiffer brush because I'm laying color down. I'm going to take that matte beige. I'm just going to do right at the brow bone. One of the biggest mistakes you can make on this eye shape is highlighting too much at the brow bone because that would just make the lid look puffier again. And our goal is to push the lid away. Even though we're doing a smoky eye, it's still the same goal with a hooded eye as it always is. Now, you know how I like to do a layer of mascara first, so I'm going to do a layer of mascara, curl the lashes, look down for me. Remember, it's opening and closing as you walk it out to the ends of the lash, which gives you a better curl than sitting there and holding it once for a long time. Look at me. Using my detailed eyelash curler, I'm going to get the corners. Look down for me. Because you know how it loves me. Really curled eyelashes. Look down over that way. Then I'm going to do my first layer of mascara. Now I usually do my first layer waterproof because it helps hold the curl. You can see what a difference lashes make when using, just by doing this one layer of mascara. Sorry, didn't let you blink. Okay. Because you only need 50 mascaras. Okay. Now I'm going to start my smoking up her eyelid. Of course, I'm going to take my number 27 brush because, as we know, it has the kind of give we need for blending. So it really helps because the bristles are so pliable. It really helps you blend as you go along. I'm going to take my matte taupe. Once again, if you already own a matte taupe, it's just a nice skin tone-y type shade. Anytime you're using a mid-tone, it's close to your skin tone, just a little darker, and it helps to start to shape the lid and start the blending process. So I'm going to take my matte taupe, and I'm going to start just all across the lid, working it up towards that brow bone. Remember, you're starting at the base of the lash line each time when you're adding color because you want it to be the deepest at the lash line. And you'll notice that because I use that highlight shade on the inside corner, it's keeping that area a little lighter, helping it look more subtle, and also, open for me, making the eye look a little more open and awake. You will also notice that her hooded eye is looking a whole heck of a lot less hooded right now. And I will say Erin doesn't have an extreme hooded eye. Hers is, I would say, on the more subtle side. And she was born with her hooded eye. It's not acquired. It was probably her original eye shape. So it's not extremely, extremely hooded, but it's definitely hooded. But notice, because we highlighted this, and we've now darkened all that fleshiness, we're starting to see her eye shape as less hooded. So that really helps it. That's why I said that a hooded eye really can wear a smoky eye very, very well. Now, I want to make sure and bring my midtone. You know how I always talk about bringing your midtone all the way in? This brush is harder to get it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my number 11 because I can just take a tiny bit of my midtone and I can go back over and bring it in a little bit better for her with it. Okay, now I'm going to take my number, now I want to really start creating that definition at the lash line. Now we're going to line with pencil, we're going to do a darker shadow and blend it up and out. But I'm going to start with my little bitty number 41 brush and pushing color into the lash line. Once again, this is just to create really strong depth, look down, at the lash line so that when we are through, it looks smokier. Just pushing it right at the base where they grow in between the lashes. The lashes grab the lid. You can see how much definition that added at the lash line. We're now going to start with our dark shade. Once again, taking my number 27 brush because I want that really blending out effect. And I'm going to start with just a nice, subtle matte. So I'm using a nice matte burgundy. Once again, it's complementary to her eye color. You can see by me just bringing up how much it makes her eyes look bluer. But if you already have a matte burgundy, any matte burgundy will work. A matte brown will work. A matte copper will work. I'm going to take a little bit of matte burgundy because I love me some burgundy. And I'm going to start, open and look down for me. Start blending it up from the lash line out. Taking my number 28 brush and blending it out. A little more matte burgundy. this eye. Down, there you go. All right, now I've started to create the depth I want. I'm going to get more depth, and I'm going to show you how. But first, the next thing I want to do in this kind of order of the way we're doing everything is I want to line with a black eyeliner. I'm going to go right at the lash line. I don't use eyeliner much, but I always use it for a smoky eye because you really need that depth and darkness that an eyeliner will give you. So I'm just going to get some black eyeliner right along the lash line. It's so cold in this room that this is. Okay, so I've gotten my black eyeliner right at the lash line. I'm now going to take my flat wide eyeliner brush, my number 18, and I'm going to take some black shadow and I'm going to go over it. Now, as I'm going over it, I'm laying it down. Open and look down. I'm laying it down, scrubbing it into the lash line, then pulling up. What this does is it really gets the color into the base and blends out and gives you a smudgy effect at the base. That's one of the reasons why I love this, the fact that it's so wide. It kind of does two things for me at once. Okay, let's see. And you can see how that is really making a nice dark depth at her lash line. Once again, the tighter we keep the super darkness of this smoky eye, the more wearable it is for everybody. I'm going to go take my 30. I'm just going to barely go back over it. Kind of blending it up. It's clean right now, the 30. No color on it. I'm going to take that 30 again. Once again, just a little matte black shadow, just in the corner. Barely blending it out as I pull it up. This just gives us that little extra added depth. To really look smoky. I'm going to blend it out. Okay, now I'm going to clean up underneath her eyes with a little cream and put a false lash on top, and I'll come back. Okay, so what we've done while we were away is I cleaned up underneath with a little eye cream, and I went ahead and put on some false eyelashes. I have not blended the lashes together with their natural yet. They're just some subtle ones. I just always think with a smoky eye it really helps add that intensity. And then I have foundationed the bottom half of her face and concealed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mid-tone. Once again, it's that matte taupe shade. Look up for me. I'm going to go right underneath her eye with my number 13 brush, and I'm going to start to add some definition, some smudginess. If I were just to take the dark and go there, it would not create gradation, and I always want that gradation. So I'm going to start with my mid-tone. Just going right along that bottom lash line. Then I'm going to take my dark burgundy And my number 13 again. Now I'm going to keep this as close to the lash line as possible. It's almost like you're just drawing on a line. I'm not blending it down. Just to start to create that darkness. I always like for my smoky eyes to be a little tighter, the underneath color. So I'm staying really close to the lower lashes. Now, I'm going to, because I think it's a little more modern right now, I'm going to take and I'm going to line the inside wet tissue of the eye, and that's where I'm going to get my depth. Now, if Erin's eyes weren't nice and big and open, I would not want to do this because it would close the eye in. But because she does have nice big open eyes, I can do this. And it starts to create that depth that we want for that smoky look. Okay, then I'm going to take my number 18 brush. Look up for me. And I'm going to go right at the base of the lashes and just kind of touch with what's left of that black shadow, smudging it in. Once again, to start create depth. Now we're going to start with our mascara. Once again, look up. Put a little bit of color on those bottom lashes. Now I'm going to blend her natural lashes into the false lashes. Once again, I always like a defining mascara for this. Look down. And I'm just brushing up and blending them together. Whenever you're using false lashes, what really helps them look more natural, look down and over that way for me, is you make sure you get her natural lashes really well mascaraed in the inside corner so you don't have a sudden starting point with thick lashes. Look down and over that way. So that where the lash starts or begins, the false lash, really looks blended. All right, now I'm going to start to add a little color to her cheeks, to her lips. Remember, since we've done such a dramatic eye, we want less color on her cheeks and her lips. I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer to start with, to start to give us some color. Yeah, people might think you're working the corner being this dark at day, during the day. Did you see Erin? She must have got a new job. It requires a corner. Taking a little bit of bronzer. Bronzing alongside the nose. Can you do a broken baby doll where one eye's closed and one eye's, yeah, closed, pretty close. That's just a little shot. I forget I had this one model and she could do the broken baby doll. It freaked me out. Like she could literally hold one eye closed and the other one was completely wide open. It was like, you look like a broken baby doll. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of color to the cheek. Just going to do a soft peachy. Smile for me. You just want to add a tiny bit of color. And you'll notice that with her pale skin, I used a pink-based bronzer rather than a orange-based bronzer. For those of you that don't have a pink-based bronzer, you just mix a tiny bit of blush in with your bronzer. And then we're just going to do a very, very subtle lip. You know me, love my glossy lips. All right, so I'm just taking a nice sheer peach lip gloss and giving her lips just the subtlest hint of color. You could line them if you felt like you needed to. I don't want any definite line to them, so I'm just glossing. Because actually Erin's got a pretty definite lip shape. What we need for this is, we need a person. No, I'm just kidding. What we need for this is we need your 3 shades, your highlight, your midtone, and your contour. I guess the most important thing about this to think about is, because it is a hooded eye and we're doing a smoky look on it, in order to keep it looking a little more open, I did highlight this inside corner and made sure that, so that when I did my smoke, that area stayed a little brighter, so it kept the eye wide open. I did keep my liner as tight to the lash line as possible. When doing a false lash with this look on a hooded eye as well, I would make sure you curl your natural lashes really well because it helps lift the lid as well. And then do a softer false eyelash. Don't make it too thick or too heavy. And then, of course, as with any smoky eye look, keep the rest of the face very minimal and not too overdone. Okay, so let's take a look at the colors real quick that we used, and then we will come back with a finished look. We've used a cream beige. We've used a matte beige over that cream beige, and then we have a nice taupey mid-tone, a rich matte burgundy, then a black matte that went over that. Then on the cheek I just used a subtle peach, and then on the lips I used a very sheer peach gloss. I didn't use anything with a lot of opacity to it.